Welcome! Today I would like to present a very special tribute to my favorite director, the great John Ford. And through the power of cinema magic, here he is! Hello, Mr. Ford. Welcome to my set.
What is this?
Well, it's my little set where I do my videos and things, and also happens to be my living room. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Ford, as long as I have you here, I've got to ask you, how did you get such great performances out of your actors? Did you really have to prod them, sir?
No.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
No. Would you like to elaborate on this shoddy work?
What are you talking about, sir? I'm kind of doing my thing here. I mean, I've done a few of these videos. I worked very hard on this, and I'm doing my very best that I can, Mr. Ford.
We can't all be William Wellman, can we? No, I guess we can't.
Well, no, I guess we can't all be William Wellman, but I assure you, sir, this is the, with my very small budgets and things, this is what I can provide.
Well, let's get on with it.
Today, I would like to present a very special tribute to the great John Ford, entitled Just a Movie Maker.
Is that the best you can do?
John Ford was born John Feeney on February 1st, 1894 in Cape Elizabeth, Maine. Though, to listen when Ford told it, he was born Sean Aloysius O'Ferna in 1895. This was just one of the many complications of one of the greatest directors of all time. Ford constantly told tales about himself to keep people from finding out too much. In countless interviews, Ford would mislead and intimidate the questioner to the point of making up outlandish stories about himself. He was a character. On the set, he could be gruff, physically and mentally abusive, also understanding and aloof. All these things made Ford who he was. This is just a short tribute, and if you really want the full scoop on a complicated real-life character, I would recommend Print the Legend, The Life and Times of John Ford by Scott Eyman, or Peter Bogdanovich's documentary, directed by John Ford. It'll give you an idea of how Ford treated interviewers, especially when he actually liked Bogdanovich. Mr. Ford, I think we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Do you have a right one, Sonny?
You know, it's,
Mr. Ford, we're having a bit of difficulty here. I was hoping maybe you could help us out with this issue that we have here.
Sure, I'd be happy to help a hard-working young man like yourself.
Wait. If there is a problem, I, the one who's producing this thing, should be the one to handle it.
What do you know about these things, wet nose?
If there's truly a problem going on, I should be the one to address it since it's my thing.
You couldn't even wipe yourself after a bowel movement. Fix a problem.
I just wanted the help of somebody that knew what they were doing.
Hold on. I don't have the budget for any crew members. Are you just here to meet Mr. Ford?
I think I better go.
I'd be happy to help a hard-working young man like yourself at any time.
What can be said about this director in such a short period? Ford started his career at nearly the very beginning of the movie business with Silence in the 19-teens. He first gained fame by working with Harry Carey on above-average westerns for the day. Unlike many of his contemporaries, the transition to sound didn't slow him down. Ford went on to win an unprecedented 4 Best Director Academy Awards for The Informer, How Green Was My Valley, The Grapes of Wrath, and The Quiet Man. However, for this admirer's best film was the 1956 classic The Searchers. Though not every film Ford released was a classic, he certainly had more than his fair share. He also helped build the careers of John Wayne, Henry Fonda, and others. Ford preferred lead men that weren't great actors that he could intimidate, and work into the kind of performance he wanted. He really liked the big lug ex-athlete like Wayne or his longtime friend Ward Bond. Constantly conflicted with studio heads, producers, and writers over how movies should be made, and he would get his way through any means possible. Yes, Ford could be abrasive and preferred to be thought of this way, but he had just the right touch for the movies.
Mr. Ford, can I get you anything while you're here?
So you finally have found somebody with style and sophistication that complements your crudeness. Mr. Ford, you're truly the epitome of grandeur in your field.
You're in for it now, Mr. Hollywood Snob.
Young man, I can tell that you're quite intelligent and you know quite a bit about the world. Do you like boating?
Mr. Ford, I love boating. And I've heard that you're an avid and fine sailor.
Why don't you put some butter to go on that butt?
Young man, I like you. You can call me Jack.
Sir, my name is Clarence. Some others have more derogatory titles for me. But I appreciate that, Jack.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
I'd like to stay and chat, Jack, but I have to go down to the pub and sing some Irish drinking songs. Have a good day, and I will save you a seat and a bottle, sir.
Thank you, young man. And Snot-Nose, you can learn a lot from this gentleman.
These little skits here may seem to be overdoing Ford's personality, but there's a lot of evidence to the contrary. Harry Carey Jr. received so much abuse during the making of The Three Godfathers that he considered ending his career after one film, but he discovered Ford's abuse was a sign of respect. If Ford ignored an actor, it meant he thought there was no hope, but he abused and threatened those he knew they could get a quality performance out of. It could not have been a pleasant experience to deal with Ford, who was notoriously thin-skinned and mean, but it could be worth it for an actor. Ford claimed he hated actors. However, he did a lot for many of them. One last thing to be said is that Ford claimed he was little more than a movie maker, and not some great artistic film or cinema man. This man may not have thought of himself that way, but he made some of the most beautiful and eloquent films in movie history. He deserves a rank as one of the greatest ever.
Mr. Ford, I've done all I can for you, sir. I truly admire you. I just want to pay my respect.
Well, I guess that is something. But surely, out of all my works, there must be something you can find criticism of me for.
Well, no, not really. I mean, you were just about the perfect director, sir.
Surely there's something. Come on, you little wimp. You have to find some flaw with one of my movies.
Oh, okay, so perhaps, you maybe always didn't have the most modern political correctness respect for African Americans, Native Americans, and women.
I see. Everyone? Could everyone come here, please? Maybe this fellow isn't the fan he claims to be. In fact, he seems to think I may be a little out of touch with how minorities and others act. I think he thinks I'm a racist.
Well, that's not exactly what I was...
Quiet, quiet! You know, if he's not going to appreciate my work, maybe one of you fine gentlemen would do a better job of giving me a tribute.
But Mr. Ford, wait, Mr. Ford. Well, I guess that's it. Just because you love the movies doesn't mean you're going to love the man. So, I hope you learned something, enjoyed the ride, and had fun watching it. So remember, happy trails, and watch out for those rough patches.
Finally, I found somebody of sophistication and style that my fine taste can truly appreciate. Mr. Ford, you're the epitome of grandeur and style in your field.
You're already in trouble because you didn't bring your chair on with you.
Yeah.
And even though you're talking to me, sort of talk back towards the camera. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
So even though you're talking, so you're still facing this direction, even though you're talking to me. Yeah.
Right,
Right, you little buddy.
fucking hilarious. Stare at him.
Just sit on my lap. That's a little on the bizarre side. I think we're gonna pass on that joke.
Alright.
We would personally find it funny. Everybody else find it a little weird. I'm just putting that out there.
Oh, the crude